What up, YouTube? Happy Thursday. There have been a couple of comments in my last couple of videos asking for my updated mastery setup, and so I just wanted to do a quick video to explain whether or not I think specifically moving to a maxed out assassin mastery is worth it. So when we go to our mastery tree, a couple of things I want to say real quick. That Gladiator Hulk loading screen is amazing. Kabam did a fantastic job with that animation. So, usual suspects, right? If you haven't maxed out Glass Cannon, it is one of my favorite masteries. I have never noticed the 7.2% decrease in health, but man, oh man, does that attack just completely change the game, especially if you've got those high-ranking 4, 5, and for some of you now, 6 stars. I have kept Deep Wounds at 5 out of 5, personally my favorite mastery, and Assassin is now maxed out. So is this worth it? Now here's the deal. I moved some of my defensive tree to make this happen, and what I've noticed is that since then, I've been taking a lot more damage on both parries and blocks when it comes to especially Alliance War bosses Dormammu in maps 5 and 6. And Assassin only kicks in when the enemy is below 18% health. So if you're not alive and the enemy's above that, it doesn't matter, right? So I've kind of gone back and forth. I haven't noticed it a ton in things like the arena or even questing, but there has been a pretty significant difference, especially when I'm fighting with Blade in Alliance War and Alliance Quest bosses. But again, that's for when I get the enemy down to 18% or below health, and it's very easy to miss an intercept or to, well, quite simply get wrecked, and suddenly you're wishing you didn't take all that block damage. So I think for advanced players, 5 out of 5 Assassin is certainly something that should be a goal. But for newer and intermediate players, I had 2 out of 5 on Assassin for over a year, and it did me great. In fact, if there's one thing I would recommend, it's to do Deep Wounds first. Now, some of you might be wondering, what about suicides? I think suicides are absolutely the thing of the past because Alliance War seasons are making it so crucial to not easily give up wins in Alliance War. And as most of you I'm sure know, when you add suicides, your recoil damage makes it so easy to bait those special 1s and special 2s, and the enemy basically kills itself. So I don't foresee a lot of people using suicides unless you can do them for a very short amount of time for a Legends run, or if you're making like a Labyrinth run, then suicides make perfect sense. But for the majority of the game, especially now with these heightened rewards for Alliance seasons, it just doesn't make any sense. I also want to point out that if you look at my utility tree, you might say, well, does he really need 3 out of 3 on Petrify? My answer is no, probably not. But I'm saving up 320,000 loyalty slowly but surely so I can add a 4th to Mystic Dispersion. Because let me tell you, I really don't want to use units to unlock that. And 3 out of 5 is doing me pretty well. But I got to say, Mystic Dispersion, again, such an amazing mastery, especially with Ghost Rider and Magic. Scarlet Witch is kind of tricky because, especially against like a Groot, your power can gain so much that you could be heightened to a special 3 pretty fast, and that could be a problem. Defense really is a tree that for the most part, I just think you should have the bare minimum, because if you are very good at parrying and intercepting, you're not going to need to fill up that tree very fast at all. This is with the exception of recovery and salve. Max those out, and if you ever look at a mastery setup that doesn't have those maxed up, do not follow it because they are leading you astray. So that's my overall mastery setup. I think I like this more than my past one, but there are certainly some tweaks. I always love hearing your feedback. A lot of you have been playing the game longer than I have, and I can certainly learn from you as well. So if there is something in this mastery setup that you think should be changed, or you've noticed that maybe with your own mastery setup that you like better, please comment below and let me know. I always love reading your posts and appreciate your feedback. And besides that, have a wonderful Thursday, and good luck in all of the new quests, especially those limited once-a-day quests, because you can get over 10,000 5-star shards just by doing that once a day for a month. And considering it's Blade Month, boy, does that add up fast.